right, hello everyone. We are here for another special episode on the channel. We took a little break from the interview series, but I think we can bring it back now that we have a few less contenders left in the competition. So now our characters can kind of come out a little bit and we can show our stardom. So Nathaniel, what should I be calling you?
I usually go by Nathaniel. It works. That
Nathaniel,
works for
I
you.
like it. More of a stage name. So Nathaniel, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm having a great night, Mitchell. How about you?
I am doing fantastic myself. No real complaints. Obviously, we have duos week here, so just planning that out in the background while going on with daily life. I feel like no one else knows the plight that you and I are under right now. We're trying to be normal members of society, and in the back of our heads all the time, we're like, what's this duo video gonna look like, you know?
Oh yeah, I don't know if what your process is looking like, but I went back to my old short film classes in college. I'm like, okay, here's a storyboard. Here's this, that, and the other thing. This is the sort of workflow we got to go on, and let's just get it done.
Yeah, we're definitely scripting it out right now and storyboarding it. We're definitely piecing it together. Like, all right, this is gonna take 13 seconds. This is gonna take like 8 seconds, and we'll piecemeal it together at the end. We'll see how it looks on the audio editing board. But yeah, you mentioned you're in a casting house right now. You're working on a show. What production are you currently working on?
So the show I'm working on right now, we're in a small town in Indiana called Shipshewana, and it's a show called A Simple Sanctuary. So this town is in the middle of Amish country, so
Ooh,
it's an original musical, like featuring Amish characters.
that's awesome. What's your character?
I play a guy named Denny. He
Okay.
is like the most like frat boy, like over the top, just like sleazeball, which is really
Yeah.
weird. You don't usually have that type of character in these sorts of shows. This is the first time I've ever rapped for a role. But that
Wow,
is
rapping?
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not it's talking fast on pitch, but
Right. Yeah, how did you get into acting? Did you always know that that's kind of what you wanted to do or
no, I figured that out. Like I was a choir kid for a long time.
yeah.
I sang in choir from like late elementary school, but I never like even had the chance to do a theater production until uh, my what would it be, my junior year of high school.
Okay. Yeah.
I did Guys and Dolls, and then I did How to Succeed at Business Without Really Trying, and I just developed a
Mm.
love for it and was like, cool, I'm gonna go to college for this. And
Y- Yeah, I'm not like well versed in the acting world at all. My brother was an actor growing up, so he was like Tiny Tim in the Christmas Carol in the school play, and we always, went out and supported him growing up whenever he was doing his acting. But for you, are you guys like a traveling production company, or do you sign on to like different production companies to put on different plays? Like, how does it work?
I do like different production companies, different theaters. So I've worked all over at this point. I've worked at this place in Indiana multiple times. I've worked in Pennsylvania. I worked at
Yeah,
a theme park in Ohio. Like you just bounce between contracts. The contracts are generally a couple months at a time. So
yeah.
it's all weird and crazy, but it's a great life if you can make it work.
Yeah, I mean that's super cool. You get to like see different parts of the country, and I guess part of this challenge is going to be learning to work with different people. So I'm sure you're super well versed in that. Like, hey, here I'm Nathaniel. Like, I guess we're doing a scene together. Like, let's figure out some chemistry.
I mean,
Are
it can be worse than that. You got, hey, my name's Nathaniel. We got to kiss in 2 days.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
and you get used to working through like awkward and weird situations with different people. It's just what you got to do.
Yeah, getting comfortable in the uncomfortable. Would you say like, are you more of a method actor, or do you turn it on when the lights get bright? Like, how do you, I guess, attack your discipline?
Oh, I could not do method acting. That shit is crazy, dog.
No, have you ran into method actors?
I I've had like two or three that I've worked with, and they
Uh,
are insane people. They are just insane
yeah.
people, and I'm
It
just
just
like,
it just seems like I don't know. To me, it always seemed like those people are just like showing how hard they're trying, or they're showing their process on their sleeve, and it's like, man, at the end of the day, I don't know how much of a difference it really makes.
yeah. I mean, you got some really good actors that do it, and I think that when you get the results, you can use whatever method you want, especially in this business. But
Right.
that is not what I choose to do. If anyone's heard of a technique, it's called Meissner, it focuses a lot on repetition and like trying to make you aware of what your partner is doing and then responding to that accordingly. It's a very complex technique. It takes years to like actually understand it, but that's the
Yeah.
gist of it.
Yeah, what are your long-term aspirations? Do you see yourself sticking on the stage, or would you want to move over to film at a certain point?
I like the stage. I think there's something about the energy, like the live energy of an audience, just
Yeah.
and I think with stage productions, you have every show being different. Like you have the audience being a part of of the show. Like there's this one moment in the show that I'm currently in at the very end where it's like we've just come back to this joke for the last time, and a couple of the recent performances I've had to hold for like 5 or 10 seconds to say my next line, and
Yeah.
just being in that moment with my scene partner and being like, yep, I can't say anything because they're not going to hear anything if I talk right now, and just leaving
Yeah.
in that moment, it just changes the scene. It's a new, fresh, like different challenge every time, and I love it. It's so much fun.
That's really awesome because I feel like it would get like old if you're doing the exact same thing every night, but being able to keep it fresh. Have you ever forgotten your lines on stage?
Oh, absolutely.
I
I
saw
mean,
you give BB Chosen a little bit of a shout out at the end of your last video. You're like, bro, we've all been through that before.
oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm sure you have experience with it.
No, I mean there have been times where I'm literally just looking at my scene partner like I'm gonna get it in the camera like right where I'm like
Yeah. I'm like
and
whisper something. I'm like, yeah, he went
it,
outside.
no, it's great. Like when you're working with a bunch of other really talented professional actors, they're good at swooping in and picking up for you. And obviously, I've done it for my scene partners as well, where it's like they're just
Right.
looking at me, and I'm like, okay, I know what's going on here. We can move the scene along, because that's you just have to be able to do that, or else
Yeah.
you're not getting rehired.
Yeah, yeah. But well, this was a little bit of a preamble, but the real important stuff is the football side of it. So how did you get into fantasy football? Like, have you always been a fantasy football fan?
I got into it. I think I did my first league when I was in college, like my freshman year of
Okay.
college.
Yeah.
I was like into football a little bit before that. Like I've been watching like in and out since I was
Right.
younger, but I became a much bigger fan in college, and then post college, I've always been like a big gambler. So
Yeah.
when I discovered the best ball stuff and like trying to find an edge at that was sort of my avenue into like really really caring about it.
Yeah. Would you say that you're more of like a best ball player, or are you more of like a home league dynasty player?
I obviously I do more best ball drafts than I do home league drafts, especially this year. I'm going to be doing a lot more best ball drafts than home league drafts, but I think I care more about the home leagues and I spend more time and attention on
Yeah.
that side of things. I'm definitely that is where home is. Best ball is still sort of something that feels new and a little bit out there.
Yeah. What's your plan? You're going to try to max the eliminator, or
Yeah,
what? Yeah.
my goal is
That's
to
a
max
grind in
eliminator on stream.
itself.
Yeah.
What are your days like as an actor? Like, how much free time do you have to actually draft?
So it's really nice. Usually I'm only in one show, but right now we have a review show going on at the same time as our musical. It's celebrating America's 250th birthday.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I'm doing more shows than usual, but even then it's like a run of the show is about 2.5 hours. We get there about an hour early and maybe 15 to 30 minutes at the end to put everything back and
Yeah.
report and meeting. So it's like pardon me, it's like about 4 hours of actual like scheduled work a day. So
Right.
it gives me a lot of extra flexibility on the other days. And sometimes we're doing shows that start at 7, so I have the entire day to do whatever the heck I want. And then
Yeah.
I get to bed at midnight, but that's
Right. You're up
fine.
late into the night. Yeah. I'm sure
Yeah.
celebrating with the cast and stuff as well. And
Oh
then
yeah.
as far as this show is concerned, like, how did you come across the initial Pete video, and were you like right away, hey, this is right up my alley, I have to apply for this, or?
I kind of like I love Pete's stuff, and I think I resonate with it a lot because I consider Pete a performer.
Yeah.
I can identify with him in that way, which obviously is fake, but
Yeah.
like I can understand a lot of the like improv stuff that he's done in the past, and I've watched his channel for a while. I saw that come out, and I was like, I think this could be fun. Like I'll go. I'll when I get to the show, I'll sit down. I'll spend a night recording something, and we'll see what happens. And it's
Yes.
just been an absolute whirlwind from there.
It has. I'll be honest, I don't know if you saw any of my stuff early on, but I was super high on your initial submission video. A lot of
Hmm.
other people are like, "Oh, I don't know, this guy's bringing a weird energy." But I thought it was really funny how you played with the sirens outside, and I was like, "Dude, like this guy came at it from a unique angle. That has to mean something. He's not just like blah 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 random player take or like here's how good I am at fantasy football. Like you were playing a character in that submission video, and that's something that I resonated with. So I was glad when you got on the show."
Yeah, no, I appreciate my my mother's been very invested in this. She's like, I'm gonna watch everything. I'm super cool. She was like, she watched your I think it was the video where you took all the applicants and you like compared
The
them
player
to
comps.
yeah, the player
Yeah.
comps.
Yeah.
And I remember she sent me a quote from that where it was like, oh, this guy obviously thinks that the siren thing was scripted in some way. Where I remember you had something about like,
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I watched it a couple times. I couldn't tell if you added it in post or if it actually happened in live time. But
no,
like you talk about improving, like being able to improv that, and like what a stroke of fate that happens the second you sit down to record it.
oh yeah, no, I think that was like my second take. I was just like going, I was like going through the motion. I'm like these. Wait a second, this could be funny, and then just
Yeah.
kept on rolling with it. And I don't know, like I'm very happy it worked out the way it did because I don't know if I would have gotten on the show doing the like normal persona that I did for the second challenge just because I don't know if it would have stood out enough in that sea of applicants. Maybe, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, all 135, and I think that was the important thing is just standing out, even if it was in a bad way. I think just being unique was probably the key to the submission video, and then obviously Mayo liked it. He gave you a decent score, and I'm sure watching that gave you like a rush of butterflies. And then you get on the show, going into the challenge, our contender challenge that we filmed last week. Were you like? Obviously Pete throws the curveball at us. Were you confident after the fact? You're like, all right, I think I did really well right there. Or what were your thoughts coming out of it?
Yeah, I was pretty confident coming out of it. Pete said in the video that he held his surprise really well, and he held it pretty well. But I definitely got an inkling of, like, yeah, this guy really surprised me when we were filming it, and that's why I was like, I'm just going to sit on my hands this week. I am not going to talk about it at all, but I am going to do a little bit of chirping at some of the like at the Swolcutta stuff and at
Oh,
Rickadozo and Blizzy odds stuff, just like chirping at that, just because I'm like I
hey,
feel
I
really
love.
confident.
I'll say this: my only goal in this video is to not get on the board. Okay, or if I'm getting on the board, I want to get into the nice section. I want to be on the right side. I don't want to be on the left side. Not making any enemies here. But yeah, I was saying a lot like like with the Mayo stuff and then the swole cutta and pretty much anything. I think an important thing in this contest is just not getting too up or down based on like public perception. And I think you probably have experience with that. Like if a crowd really likes the show or a crowd isn't as into it the next day, like making sure it's not affecting your work and what you're putting forth.
Yeah, I mean it's a fine balance to walk because you need to incorporate the crowd in the performance. Like you need to know, okay, this
Yeah.
is a dead crowd. If I pause for laughter here, it's just going to be really awkward. So you need to like feel that fine line. But to your point, I we do occasionally we have like a little meet and greet after the show, and I remember it was like 2 shows ago I was in, and I remember this clearly. It was this little girl, couldn't have been older than 13, walks up to us in the meet and greet line, and she was like, my parents made me come here, and I hated the show, and just walks away. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with that, young lady.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like, all right,
sorry.
I'll save my autograph. You don't come back to me in 20 years, all right?
Yeah, and it's like you just have to get used to that. I mean, I'm sure anyone who works a retail job knows this, but members of the general public are just wild. And I think especially after they've watched you in a show, like you get that same sort of like parasocial connection that you can get with like your favorite YouTuber or people that you
Right.
watch, and you get people that just doing things with you that not necessarily what you would expect, like at
Yeah.
a reaction with a stranger. Like I had a woman the other day even just like put her arms around my neck, like and just like sort of like sit there swaying and talking to me, and I'm like, ma'am, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm pretty tall. I'm like 6'2". This woman's like maybe 5'4", 5'6".
Yeah, so
And I'm
she's
like,
on her
this
tippy
is
toes. Yeah.
so weird. This is so weird.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So you just get used to being like, people are gonna have their opinions. I'm gonna do my thing. If it's what you're looking for, if it's great, if not, then I'm
Right,
confident
yeah,
in
go
what I
ahead.
bring to the table.
There has never been more content for people to enjoy in their life. So the key is just to be authentic and find your base. Like you're not gonna, no one is going to appeal to everyone. No one's gonna have 100% approval rating. And if you do have 100% approval rating, people are gonna start hating you for being too approved. So like a big part of this is definitely being able to deal with criticism. You picked Jawan Jennings for your player take. Was that strategic at all? Were you like
I believe
thinking
I picked
through
Juwan Johnson, not Juwan Jennings.
Juwan Johnson? You know what? I'm on the board now. I'm on the board. Juwan Johnson. So was there any strategy behind that, or were you like, this is something I actually believe that he's the best player on the board? Because I think there was a balance for me personally, and like in picking my player that I was going to use. Like I wanted it to be somewhat strategic, but I also wanted it to be someone I believed in.
I think for me, it's a tough question because I think it was mainly just because I believe in the player. It's not my like number one drafted player, but the person I wish I had more of most, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. And just using that as an exercise to remind myself, okay, when we're drafting, let's be looking at Jawan Johnson where we think he should go instead of at his ADP.
Yeah.
But I was actually like tossing up between him and Javante, actually, which was
Oh.
funny because I was also going to do in a different format. My other idea was Javante specifically in the eliminator format is a good pick because on the day that we were recording, the schedules hadn't come out yet, but we had already gotten the
Right.
first 3 weeks of Javante's schedule, and it was Giants, Commanders,
Giants.
Ravens,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is a dream schedule, like, and it's already a player that I want to take out of ADP. So that was the other thing I was contemplating doing, but I decided against that because I'm like, I think I have more arguments about Juwan Johnson, and I don't know. I was worried to do what you did and go to a different format and sort
I
of
was
explore
as
in that
well.
way.
I said that yesterday. Like I had more of a bit submission coming in, and that didn't really play well with Mayo. So I was like, I should probably play this one pretty straight. And as I went into my preparation, I was like, nah, like I still think this is the right direction to go. And I was happy that Pete kind of gave us that creative freedom on the second challenge to be like, all right, yeah, you can go against the grain a little bit. And so it'll be interesting going forward, like how much of it is Pete like, hey, I gave you the fucking prompt, like just stick to the prompt, do what I'm telling you to do versus being creative. And I'm sure the duo videos will go a lot of different directions. Who is your duo? You pulled out emo?
Yeah, I'm with Emo Cowboy, and it's
Okay.
I can tell you
think
right now, it is already wild.
I was gonna say you got yeah, I think you guys are the only group that didn't have a lock from like the whatever the
Really?
first wave. I think you guys are the only like two contenders who got paired together.
Oh, I'll have to do something with that. Oh, that'll be fun. I didn't
Oh,
realize
see,
that.
I'm already,
Really?
you know what? My consulting fee is like $20 an hour, so we can prorate that. But yeah, like I think you guys are a really good pairing. I think you guys both have a lot of energy and a lot of unique energy. So if I were to tier rank the duos, I think I would have you guys in the top half for sure of like most likely to put out a really good video.
Oh, that's dangerous. I don't like those expectations. I want to just be slightly above average. I want to be just good enough to continue. That's my goal.
Yeah,
That's
just
what.
keep skating by and keep the chip on the shoulder. You don't want to
Yep.
get you don't we don't want to raise our heads too high above the water. We just want to be able to breathe a little bit.
No, I don't want Pete pulling me into a call and being like, "Hey, do you want to, kill this person for $500 of site credit?" I don't want that. I don't want to ask that question.
What did you think of Tyler's decision? What decision would you have made there?
I think it's hard for me to say honestly because I don't have anyone in this competition that I have that close of a relationship with because I'm like, quite frankly, I don't know anyone well enough yet where it's even a question. I don't think anyone would be like surprised by that.
Yeah.
But I know like for the people that I work with, like I think I wouldn't take it. I think that at least for me, $500 of site credit is not that much of a needle mover. Like it certainly helps a lot. Like let me tell you this, actors, we do not get paid a ton. That unless you're making blockbuster movies.
Yeah, it's the long-term investment.
Yeah, you got it. But I don't know. I think that in every space, like relationships really matter, and I think torching a relationship that publicly is really it would be really hard for me to do.
Yeah, I agree. It would be funny if Pete was like, who did you mention in your last video, Kristen or something?
Oh yeah.
She was like, yeah, he's like, yeah, you got to cut Kristen off your guys' production if you are to move on or something like that. Like give you a real life decision. He like gets
Oh
in
man.
touch with like your production manager. That would be really funny. But yeah, what do you think about the state of the competition in general right now? Are there any locks or any other contestants that you're kind of looking at from either direction? Like someone you think is really good that stood out to you so far that you think is a front runner, or someone that you maybe more interestingly or like I don't know how this person's still in?
I think every contender deserves to be here. I'm going to go ahead and preface with
What a
that.
what a politically
However,
correct answer. Yeah.
absolutely, yep. But I think the Neil Farley if I had to choose someone, that would be the person where I'm like, huh, the
Yeah.
most. Because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really watch his initial submission super closely. I sort of just went like click, and I thought the like resubmission was pretty bland. Um, and I think him pairing with Tony Squares, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be high volatility. If like Tony Squares can punch it up and make this like add a lot of entertainment to Neil's stuff, I think maybe it could be really good. But I doubt
That's
it.
yep. I think we're kind of aligned here. That's I'm on the other side of that. I'm like Tony Squares has done absolutely nothing since his submission video after saying he was going to be the villain of the competition. I think that's the duo right now that I'm looking at as like I'll say it. I think it's the weakest duo. I'll be interested to see what kind of stuff they put together. But out of all the groups, I think they're going to have the hardest hill to kind of climb to pull over the guest judges and the panel of judges or whoever is judging this next competition. So
Who
we'll
is
see.
who's Zach paired with? I forgot. If you want to look it
I
up.
think he's with luckily I have these up. He is with Brian Hartman, who I'll say Brian got through in the live vote, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Brian has a lot of potential. Like Brian scares me. It
Mm-hmm.
was between like him and Buck at the
Yeah.
end, and I was like, I don't care which one of these guys goes home, because I think they could both win this in the end. But I think Brian Hartman has a lot of potential, so I'm high on that group.
Yeah, I don't know Brian that well. I don't know because my worry with that is that it's just like not football enough.
Yeah.
Because I mean
Hmm.
Zach's been very forward about how like not really like compared to everyone else. Obviously, compared to the average person, probably a fantasy football nut, but compared to the rest of us, like not as football oriented. And I don't know how football oriented Brian is because he seems to be like pumping out a lot of content and having a lot of
Yep.
stuff come across, but I don't know if it's all like technical data player take stuff or if it's all like just talking and being interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Cool. Yeah, I think that's all I kind of had at this moment in time, but did you have anything else you wanted to bring up?
Not specifically. I think that I don't know. I just wanted to get on call to talk about like how you because my big question for you is like how do you get the like time and energy and ability to like keep on being on the produced content grind because I'm very much a live stream person. I don't know if you've looked at my even my recorded videos are like one take. I don't really do a
Yeah.
ton of editing. Like I don't know how you like how do you have the time and editing ability and just like chutzpah to keep going with that.
Yeah, no. So I mean, stuff like this is not super difficult to put together. Like obviously, I'll just put us each in a little window and let it play out. So editing these aren't that difficult. As far as like some of the more creative videos, like the superlatives or the player takes, those are definitely more of a grind, and those are like weekends are a good time for me. Like I try to sit down and try to think through what I want to produce for the upcoming week, and I'll start on like a Saturday and really work through Sunday and try to get two videos done, and then I'll backfill that with content throughout the week. But I wasn't joking off the start when I said that this is kind of all encompassing right now. Like, I get off of work so I work in college athletics. So, pretty 9 to 5. And then luckily I don't have any sports right now. So we at West Virginia, we only have baseball, and baseball is not my direct responsibility. So as graduation happened a week ago, so all the students are on break right now. So luckily, this show kind of aligns with a softer part of my schedule. If this was happening during football season, during basketball season, buddy, you'd be hard pressed to get 1 to 2 videos a week out of me. So hopefully it aligns well with the schedule of the show, and I can keep kind of putting stuff out there. But as you said, for me, it's just I think the best part of this show is just the relationships and the networking that we can all have, and kind of like I think we're like the next wave of fantasy people coming up in the space. Obviously, all of us are pretty aspirational in what we want to do, and are all coming at it from unique angles. So developing these relationships now, it's kind of like it can't hurt us, right? If we're all collaborating, and I always think the best content is collaborated content. So yeah.
Yeah, and I remember when I went on my first live stream and I was just talking for 2 hours straight. I'm like, oh, I forgot how hard this is on my voice and on everything. Like, it's tough when you're doing it on your own.
It
And,
is.
and that reminded me. I remember you said tout house. What is the tout house? Is this something that I just missed from like when I wasn't paying attention earlier? Like I'm like, what happened here? What's going on?
Yeah, do you remember when you submitted? Like, were you a late submitter, middle, or
Oh,
early?
I submitted like April 5th or 6th. Like it was, I was pretty fast.
Yeah, you might have missed it then, because it was on social media, so it was on Twitter, and I was trying to follow everyone that was submitting on Twitter and just kind of getting them all into a group chat together, which we called the Tout House. And there was like a lot of like pretty good, funny content that kind of came about from the Tout House. Like, instead of someone makes a video and then they're just gone into the ether and going about their lives, people would be talking about the video they just put in the group chat. And same with like more submitters coming in, we would be like, oh, this guy sucks, like blah blah blah, and talk about the submission. And there was some beef, obviously the Rick emo stuff, the Rick PPR Tyler stuff early on, which kind of carried, which by the end of it I was like, bro, we're beating a dead horse. Like, someone else, Tony Squares, someone else has to bring some drama to the show. It can't all be on PPR Tyler's back. So that was kind of the birth of it. I want to try to have like a group chat 2.0, so like a Tout House 2.0. So you're more than welcome to join that. And then I think it would be funny if we had like a public, like, this guy's kicked out of the Tout House every single time someone gets eliminated from the show. So if we could get all 16 of us in a room together, I think that would be really funny.
Oh yeah, no, definitely at some point. I'm sure we'll all want to, at least be able to get in touch with each other as it keeps dwindling, because no one quite understands what's going on, like the people that are in the competition. It's
Yeah, I
something
mean,
different, man.
to keep up with everything is a full-time job in itself. It's like, oh, someone's on a live stream at 2 p.m. Got to see if they said anything about the show. Oh, Pete's on Best Ball Breakfast from 10 to 2. Like, got it. I've been, for Best Ball Breakfast, I've been like hopping in at like 5 minutes. So in between each draft, obviously he does 4 drafts. So at 9:55, 10:55, 11:55, I'm in for 5 minutes, 'cause that's when Pete kind of talks about the show. And so, yeah, I mean, it's been a lot to follow, but it is all fun. Like, I don't want to act like it's work or anything like that. It's all enjoyment at the end of the day. But
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you hopping on today. I'm looking forward to seeing what you and Emo cook up, and hopefully all goes well for both of our groups, and we can make more content like this in the future.
Oh yeah. No, I'm excited. It was good to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll see you around soon.
Yeah, I hope I'm not on the board, so that's the important thing.
Not yet.
Not yet. All right, catch you, brother.
All right. See you around.